Xbox just had their 2025 showcase, or what I like to call P3. You get it, right? Because like it's Phil Spencer's like thing is like it's P3. It's funny. And while what they showed was good, I feel like there was still something that was missing from all the stuff that was announced previously. And as a Halo channel, there's a specific franchise we're very interested in, which we got a little bit of hope from Phil from this quote.
25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning.
I mean, what other game could he be talking about in that situation? So let's not spend a whole lot of time fishing around for different ideas that we can talk about, guys. Let's get right into what our thoughts are for Xbox Showcase of 2025. And of course, like and subscribe if you guys want to do that. So first, let's start with, I think, the game that stole the show of 2025, and that would be this one, the Clockwork Revolution trailer that we finally got like an actual look of gameplay and experience what they have, because this was mentioned back in 2023 if I remember correctly, and we talked about it on stream previously and it was like we didn't hear anything about this game for quite some time, and they came in swinging with this trailer. Oh my goodness, like this is probably the hands down the best trailer in my opinion that we got for the Xbox showcase. Something about the visuals, the presentation, the whole steampunk vibe and things like that. It really kind of just gave me something like, okay, this is something I haven't played before. I want to jump in and be part of this. There's a decent amount of humor with this game as well, which I'm really excited about that because I always enjoy a good comedy. And I just gotta say, like the vibes, the aura, the graphics, the world that you're gonna be put in for Clockwork Revolution looks absolutely phenomenal. I think that Xbox has a true banger set for whenever this game truly releases, because all they said for the release date was that it's in due time. So that just makes me think that okay, it's definitely not 2025. Probably more like towards the end of 2026 would be my guess. Next, we have to talk about the big showcase game that happened in Xbox this year, and that would be Outer Worlds 2. And for me personally, like what I saw looked great. The graphics looked phenomenal. The story seemed interesting. I actually never played Outer Worlds 1. I heard it was a phenomenal game. Great for those people who were like missing that kind of Bethesda RPG vibe, like a Fallout kind of vibe or something like that, and wanting that experience. Well, Obsidian's delivering just on that with their own unique IP. And it seems like it's going to be a good game, but it's like, I think this game, I guess maybe just kind of needs to do a little bit more for me to really go like, oh, I need to play this game right now. I mean, it's going to be on Game Pass, so if I have the time, I have a chance to play it out, I will. Just my backlog, dude, it's gathering dust. It's not looking good for 2025. My big promise to myself was to play a lot of variety of different games besides like live service games, besides like Halo and like Call of Duty, but my backlog is already backing up and we're only halfway through the year. But could Outer Worlds still be a phenomenal game? I absolutely do believe so. I just think that like getting the whole like second half of the show showcase, I think it was almost more kind of like, oh snap, Fable got delayed. What's the other big game that we can really showcase that's not like Call of Duty again? I think if you guys enjoyed the first one, you'll probably enjoy the second one. But for me, I think I still need to be kind of won over to be able to really be like, get excited about this. Now, this is one of the biggest news releases of this entire showcase, and that was the Xbox, or the ROG Ally Xbox X. Wait, what's actually, wait, hold up. What's it actually called again? The ROG Xbox Ally. And there's like an X version, which is like double plus good. Okay, so that's how you name it. Again, like naming conventions for Xbox products mean like XXS, really plus double good. Like again, it can get a little confusing. But you know what wasn't confusing? This presentation of this handheld. I think this is the first handheld I've really seen where I'm like, oh, okay. That's something that really kind of plays on what I am as a gamer, right? As someone who plays a lot of games on PC, specifically on Steam, and now on Xbox with Game Pass. I have a Steam Deck, but the big limitation for me is like the memory space on it. That I think with this Ally, I think it might be something that'd be like, okay, you actually have my attention now because you can play on multiple types of platforms. They mentioned Ubisoft Connect, they mentioned Steam, they mentioned Battle.net, they mentioned, of course, Xbox as well. And that's something that I think kind of appeals to me more as a gamer than any other kind of like handheld, say for like the Switch, for example. They mentioned no price point for this app, but we'll talk about that just in a minute, but where that price really should be. I also talk about no release date was announced, but they mentioned about later this year. But I really like how you have the ability to be on multiple platforms. I think the ROG or Ally can already do that, but having it be more of an Xbox version of it, something kind of appeals to me a little bit more, just as someone who's been an Xbox fan for multiple decades. Some of the specs on it did seem a little like a 1080p screen. I was like, 1080p, like that's what we're gonna be having for it. I mean, yeah, it's a smaller screen, so 1080p might not look that bad, but I was kind of from a 1440p or something like that. But they also mentioned that the trade-off of that would be 120 hertz for the refresh rate, which does sound amazing right there. And also a big bonus for this one, a 1 terabyte hard drive, which is incredible for me, especially for the mobile gaming side of things, because with my Steam Deck, I have only Dead Space Remake on there, and that's it. Like, that's all the space it could hold. I know there's like a 500 gig version or something like that, but I'm just not about to spend that kind of money on this, like, for extra storage. I know it's easy to modify. I actually have the stuff to do it. I just been lazy and haven't gotten around to doing it because I've been keeping myself so busy. But default 1 terabyte storage is phenomenal. But I think the big thing is that, of course, and now with the Switch 2 releasing at $499, actually probably taking a little bit of a hit because of the tariffs. And usually with gaming hardware, they take a little bit of a hit so they can get you within the ecosystem, right? So to be comparative to what the Switch is, it kind of needs to be around that price point. This video is already going long enough. I'm going to hit you with some rapid fire takes when it comes to some of the other games I'm really interested with the Xbox Showcase. High on Life 2 looked awesome. I'm like, absolutely, hell yeah. I loved High on Life 1. Though my only concern is maybe about how the comedy is going to hit, because it's such a carrying force of the first game. Because Justin Roiland has his own external issues, I haven't gone too in depth with it. I just know that, okay, he has some issues. They had to say goodbye to him. But the thing is, like, he voiced a lot of the characters. A lot of his humor is based off Justin Roiland, what he finds funny, basically, which I think he's a really funny guy, but obviously he had his own issues. Not good stuff that he did externally from what I've heard. So it'd be really interesting to see how High on Life 2 plays out when it comes to like the story and the writing, like the experience of playing, because like I said, the comedy is such a huge element of this game. Ninja Gaiden 4 looked pretty awesome, right? Kind of looked like a continuation of what we already saw for the developer direct that we got back in January, just kind of more of the same kind of stuff. So I mean, I'm definitely excited about this. It's going to release on Game Pass, so I'll definitely give it a go. Millennials rejoice because Tony Hawk 3 and 4 just got a big showcase as well, which Tony Hawk 3 was probably the Tony Hawk I played the most. The map builder in that game was amazing, right? The soundtrack was awesome. It was so cool to see like Bam Margera get featured in this as well, as someone who's a millennial who grew up watching Jackass and Viva La Bam and stuff like that. Yeah, I was a fan back in the day for sure. This will be a nice nostalgia hit. Of course, you can play as a Ninja Turtle, and the really fun part as well towards the end of this is that they showcase Doom Guy just grinding on like this game. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Give me some of this. That looks awesome. The Blood of the Dawnwalker was showcased as well. Just kind of the same thing that we saw previously. A little bit more of the gameplay, a little bit, as I say, emphasis on that. Again, it's much more of just like a vibe check. Be like, hey, do you guys like dark medieval fantasy with like emphasis on vampires? Well, then you'll probably like this game, right? This also comes from the developers previously of The Witcher 3, if I remember correctly. They broke off, made their own studio. They're making this game. And honestly, it looks pretty freaking awesome, right? Some kind of looks like a semi-open world with like really interesting traversal of like utilizing vampire, like supernatural powers and stuff like that. Yeah, has my interest. I'm definitely gonna see if I can get a chance to play this game. One thing that really surprised me was that we actually got some DLC for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which I have not finished this game yet. Like I said, I'm super slow when it comes to playing story-based games. But from what I've played, it's amazing. Like this is the best piece of Indiana Jones media we've ever had since the third movie. And so it just feels like a true Indiana Jones experience. So get more Indiana Jones. Hell yeah, sign me up for that. The funniest thing for me about this entire game though is now like the title of the game in DLC, because when you actually look at it, you're like, this is a heck of a title, man. Now it's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Order of the Giants. I'm like, dude, we're pushing close to a paragraph now when it comes to just the title of this game. Jokes aside, this DLC looks awesome. Indiana Jones, The Great Circle is awesome. If you haven't played it, give it a go. It's on Game Pass. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing this. Well, at least hopefully in time before I can actually get a chance to finish the game first. Millennials rejoice once again because the Gears of War Reloaded update, or at least video we got, was really freaking awesome. Just really great just to see it like in action. Obviously, I'm going to be playing this. This releases out in August, so you're definitely going to see some content from me. I'm definitely going to be streaming at least the campaign, because this is one of the most iconic millennial gaming kind of shooter campaigns ever. Like, oh my God, it's phenomenal. But that's not only just the campaign. Like, we're actually getting some multiplayer stuff. Actually, like, really soon. Because if you pre-order the game right now on PlayStation, Steam, Xbox, whatever, you also get 2 weekend multiplayer beta that begins on June 13th. So right around the corner here, guys. You also get Game Pass Ultimate, and PC Game Pass members will get access to it as well. So you know I'm going to be playing that. And of course, talking about games, we got to talk about the big ender, right? The Black Ops 6 reveal, which is cool. You know, it's more Call of Duty. You expected to see a Call of Duty announcement at the showcase, but kind of have it be like, and one more, which really didn't seem like that big of like a and more kind of experience, right? Because we all expect a Call of Duty release to happen every single year. It's just kind of cool to finally get like some visual presentation of what the next one's going to be. Basically, it's going to be a retelling of Black Ops 2 in some kind of way. I'm definitely going to play the campaign, probably play some of the multiplayer as well. I've heard bits of rumors that there might be some wall running involved with this in some kind of capacity. Not full Black Ops 3, but maybe a little bit of it as well, which is like now we're getting back into the future side of things of Call of Duty, which I think a lot of people in that fandom weren't exactly the biggest fans when it came to like sci-fi elements getting into the Call of Duty. But I mean, I'm not making the games, right? But this did look pretty awesome. And it looked like extra like Black Ops-y, mind FRE kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm all for it. Is it just me, or did this whole showcase feel a little light? Like it wasn't like mind-blowing like we had last year or stuff like that, right? And I think even like Phil Spencer kind of felt like that, or at least the Xbox team kind of felt like that, right? Because especially at the end, like right before the showcase, Black Ops, right? They had Phil come out in the video and be like, hey guys, don't worry. 2026 is going to be freaking lit. Like we got Fable, we got Forza, we have Gears E-Day, and also another game out there that's been with us from the beginning. I wonder what game that could be. Which I think kind of segues us into the second half of this video, and that's going to be what happened to all those other games. I'm sure many of you in the algorithm probably came for just this, and we're talking about Halo, right? And I'm talking about where was it, right? Because honestly, I had expectations that we would see Halo in some kind of capacity, small or big, however kind of way, because we had got this exact showcase right here back at HCS of 2024. And I'm like, if they're going to showcase Halo at like an HCS event, why would you do it at the biggest showcase you have as an Xbox platform, right? People are still very interested in Halo, right? It has such strong brand recognition, even though the games have been kind of lackluster for the past, like 10, 15 years now at this point. But it kind of goes to show me, again, like with that quote from Phil that we showed earlier in the video, saying like a game that's been with us since the beginning. Like, I mean, like what game they're talking about? They're talking about Halo. That means Halo is coming out in 2026, which is phenomenal. That's when I was expecting to see a new Halo experience to be released. I was just kind of hoping to see it at the showcase in some kind of capacity, or at least people know like, hey, the CE remake is real, or whatever Halo 7 was going to be called is real, right? Like that's what I would hope they would be willing to showcase, but we got nothing. But again, if it's going to release in 2026, I mean, you can kind of just hold off until June of 2026 to really actually showcase the game and all. So it lets me down, but I totally understand. Another game that was surprisingly MIA for this showcase for me was Perfect Dark. It was showcased last year, and even though we've heard issues about the development of the game, right, it's been pretty rocky trying to find a true like vision of what they want to do for this game. I just kind of thought like if you're going to showcase the game, that you'd showcase it again, be like, look at the progress that we've made. And then we heard absolutely nothing about it this time around. Well, honestly, the only thing I've ever heard about Perfect Dark is that it's been having issues with development. They brought a whole other team in to help out with the development as well. I hope it turns out great, because Perfect Dark on the N64 for me was like an iconic game from my childhood. I would hope to see this game do well. Even this trailer that we're looking at right now kind of raised more eyebrows and answered questions, but I hope that this game turns out well, because Perfect Dark needs to do well, man. Like, I miss that franchise. Starfield was another game that was surprisingly missing from this showcase as well. We kind of expected that the DLC would be kind of like an annual kind of thing, but it seems like it's going to be more biannual, or maybe they scrapped it altogether. I think, if you remember correctly, that the second DLC is in pre-production right now, but maybe if it's scrapped or something, I don't know. We just know that, like, yeah, Starfield just hasn't really resonated with players as I think Bethesda and Xbox really hoped for. But I hope that they're working on something, because I mean, there's something there to Starfield. It's just missing some things, you know. Another game I was surprised we didn't see anything was State of Decay 3. Like, yeah, I'm not much of a State of Decay 3 player, but they showcased it last year, and you know, it had some promising kind of elements to it. And Xbox seems to really want to push State of Decay for like the longest time to really make it a thing. It's almost like their Horizon, where they really want State of Decay to be a thing, but just no one really ends up being that gravitated towards it. But hey, maybe with 3 things will change. But yeah, again, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you create this standard of like, hey, we're showcasing State of Decay 3, but then you don't actually have State of Decay 3 showcased the next following year. So it's like, when's this game coming out? When's it releasing? I don't know. Same thing with Gears E-Day. Like, even though we had a Gears Reloaded announcement, which is phenomenal, great to see that kind of hold us over till 2026. But I was kind of hoping to see like at least something, some kind of progress made, right? But kind of falls within that same boat as well. Of course, we have to talk about Fable, right? I think this was supposed to be like the planned showcase for 2025. Of course, once it got delayed, the announcement earlier this year, we talked about it on the channel here, that Xbox really had to pivot to something else. And hopefully this game turns out well. Like, the graphics look phenomenal. The comedy seems to be there. The voice acting seems to be there as well. At least with the last like Xbox podcast when they announced the delay, at least we got some form of gameplay. Again, those like real quick snippets. Like, we didn't really see like true like raw gameplay of this yet. So I really hope that we see something positive of this, because I really hope that they're able to bring back Fable, because it's such a long historied franchise that people seem to really love and enjoy. I personally have never played a Fable game, but this one has me interested, and I really hope it turns out well. Now, I had no hope for this game to be showcased at all for the 2025 reveal. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, people talked about it in my chat and in my comments. They want to see Elder Scrolls 6. I was like, guys, it's not happening at all. But of course, it was MIA. We didn't get any information. We got Elder Scrolls Online, which great for those players. I hope, I'm happy for them to get some more Elder Scrolls-ness right there. But everyone wants that RPG, right? That true RPG experience, right? That's what Elder Scrolls really is. And that's something that we haven't really had in a long time. And I think it's going to be a bit longer till we actually get a chance to experience that. Because if you call back to 2023, when a lot of this news about Elder Scrolls 6 was kind of coming out, especially with the acquisition with Activision Blizzard and stuff like that, this quote we're here saying, with Elder Scrolls 6, it's far too hard to understand like what the platforms will even be, or when we're talking about when the game's 5+ years away. So that puts us at 2028, like at the absolute earliest. Now, my last bit of hope for the announcement, which we didn't receive as well, was I was hoping to hear like Master Chief Collection come into PlayStation. And honestly, I was really hoping for the Xbox side of things when it comes to the collection of the classic COD games coming over the Game Pass as well. Like, imagine playing like classic Modern Warfare 2 through Game Pass. Like, that would be freaking amazing. Especially since they cleaned up the servers for the most part a few years ago as well, that I was really hoping for like a big Call of Duty announcement, since they recently brought those games to the PC, Xbox store as well. Like, you guys are set up for success in that one, and you just didn't. I would think like if you just let all the classic COD games on Xbox Game Pass, would just cost an insane amount of hype for the platform as a whole, and just get people instantly signing up for the service. But hey, what do I know? But also, like I said, I was hoping for PlayStation users to get at least an announcement to like, hey, you get a chance to play Halo, or even your Switch 2 users, you get a chance to play Master Chief Collection on your Switch 2, totally fine. Like, that's what I was also hoping for as well, but we just didn't quite get that as well. But overall, guys, like, I think the showcase, like, we'll see what you guys had to say, because I put a poll on my channel, and it's been up for a few hours. Let's see where you guys are at right now with this. If you guys want to catch these polls, make sure you subscribe to the channel, let you know when they go live. But you can see right here from just 580 votes, like this for the size of our community right here, pretty split between like B, C, and even D and F. I'm sure that's a little skewed from a lot of the Halo fans who didn't get Halo news, but honestly, I'd probably put this around like a B tier type of performance, right? Over here on Twitter, I think kind of felt like a bit of the same thing. Again, only 83 votes because, hey, follow me on Twitter so we can get some more votes and more interactions with that kind of stuff. But hey, I think it kind of falls in line with the general sentiment, like definitely like a solid B tier. Like, it definitely wasn't an A, wasn't an F. I can see why you might want to go with a C tier kind of thing, but I think it was a solid B overall. If you guys made this far in the video, hope I earned your like, maybe even a subscribe. If you want to know who the real ones are that made to the end of the video, leave a green square as like your comment. Let me know who the real ones are that made to the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.